Good evening. It's time for me to do what I do. Sometimes I don't know what I do, but I want to make a disclaimer when I talk about my doTERRA at the end. It is not supported by the FDA, and it cannot cure, treat, all of that stuff. I am not a doctor. I can only testify to what I know and what I've been through. And I think the oils are wonderful. But as those of y'all who are watching me, I always complain about my light, but it's my bedtime and I haven't done my story yet. And I wanted to do that before the night ends for me. And I can't remember the last story that I told, but I know that we had moved to Kenilworth down in Austin. We had the brand new 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. I know I'm bunked with Linda and Anita, and I'm not sure if if Mary had been born yet, that she would bunk with Tommy. But anyway, we had a carpet in our room. And the memory I have at this moment, I just pulled memories, I don't know why, was we had to clean our room on Saturday mornings before we got to watch cartoons. And I swept the dust under the rug. And Uncle Virgil comes in, he picks up the rug, and then I have to do all my work again. My favorite pastime was playing with paper dolls, unless we were outside playing with the boy next door. When we played with him, we had our little army men, and we would play army. And so between my paper dolls, the boy next door, I also had my imaginary friends. And I always try to keep my imaginary friends to 1 or 2, but sometimes my imagination would just go crazy, and then all of a sudden my little world was full of people, and that's the end of that game. Too many people, too many problems, even if they're imaginary. And let's see, I don't know, I always tell my stories and then I go, oh, I'm going to talk too much and I'm going to bore you. But I remember one time Tommy jumping off the bunk bed onto the other bed, and that caused some problems. But like I said, life was pretty good. On Saturdays, after we finished watching our cartoons and eating our breakfast, it was off to church. We were the janitors. Yes. And I sinned. I could get my little hand into the tithing box, and then I could go buy candy, a big bag of candy. And one day I took the change and I buried it in the drain ditch, never to be found again. God said, "You will not touch my money, and if you do, you won't be able to use it." So, what's the point of putting your little hand into the tithing box if God's just going to take it away from you? So I left it alone. When we were cleaning the church, I got to clean the chapel part, and I crawl underneath the benches with the dust mop. And it was always fun to clean the church. It was very enjoyable. The only thing I didn't like was the bread and the water from the week before. It was all kind of moldy. And I don't know why. We were at church on Wednesday and we were at church on Thursday, so I don't know why we didn't take care of that on those days. But we didn't, because there was primary and there was the young girls things. There was always something going on in church. There was, and Sunday night, we take the sacrament Sunday morning. We could have took care of the bread Sunday night because we didn't take a sacrament at night. So there was a full schedule back in the day that church really revolved around our lives. When we weren't in church, we had our home family evening where we'd sit down and do our Bible study. And I think that when you're raising your children, religion, church, is a very good foundation, especially when you're learning, your commandments. Because the children, I still remember them. And yes, I did bad things, and I knew it, but it kept me from doing a lot worse. I did little things, the devil would get on my shoulder, and I didn't knock him off. I let him whisper in my ear. But my church teachings whispered in this ear, and usually always overcome that little devil on my shoulder. Wasn't always innocent like I should be, but I was a child too. I'm not going to sit down and tell you that I was lily white perfect, because that wouldn't be a true statement. But church was very important to us, and it evolved around everything. There was school, church, home, my imagination friends, my paper dolls. And I always got on my bike when I got the opportunity and took off. I would ride almost all over Austin. I'd be gone from daylight till dark. As soon as the porch lights came on, I was in the house. As soon as they went off, I was out of the house. And I loved hanging out at Walnut Creek. That, I think, was my greatest passion. I even ran away from home. My sister Anita and I don't know why we ran away from home. I think it's because Anita would tell me to do something, and I'd do it. Got grounded for 2 weeks. She got a spanking, but I didn't. We were in the kitchen. We gathered up pots and pans, and we got sheets and pillows. I mean, we got all our camping gear. Didn't say bye to Mom, just kind of walked around her, did what we were going to do. And then we took off to the lake. Not to the lake, to the creek. Set up our old camping site. What was for supper? Green grapes and cactus. That's what we ate. I'm not sure. I think the green grapes gave me a tummy ache, but I liked the cactus. That was pretty good. I don't think I would eat it again, though. It just one time was enough. So we fixed our bed and we went to sleep. We had a marvelous time. We really did. And I think it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We were sleeping right there by the creek, and the police show up. They gather all our stuff, and the policeman puts me on his back, and he's walking me across the creek, and there's water moccasins all over the place. I was always seeing rattlesnakes, but I never saw the water moccasins. They came out, and it was kind of scary. But then again, it was kind of, oh, wow, what a great adventure. Look at all these snakes. These are cool. You could feel that policeman shaking. I can't remember if he shot any of them or not, but I think the policeman was afraid. I was safe on his shoulder, so I was great. But I never ran away from home again. There was no purpose in me running away other than to just go camping on my creek. Loved my creek. Never took my imagination my imaginary friends to the creek with me because they always stayed in the backyard. When I was out alone playing in the backyard, that's where they stayed. It was like I was playing Robinson Crusoe on a deserted island. And then all of a sudden, it's like I'm in New York City with all these people. And it's, oh, no, go away, go away. And I think that's going to be my memory for today. And that one was pretty joyful. Only got grounded for 2 weeks. Good girl. I was bad, but on the tithing thing, but God punished me on that one. You know what? You get a big old bag of candy for a nickel. That was a good deal. Now I don't even eat candy because I know what sugar does to me. But anyway, I wanted to talk about my essential oils. I have a Cash app that I'm trying to put a donation on there if you would like to have a reading or if you would just like to donate to me, but I don't really like something for nothing. So if you would like a reading for your tarot cards, I would love to do that for you. And you just give me a donation for that. That would be wonderful. Anyway, like I said, I am not a doctor, and essential oils are not approved by the FDA because they cannot be patented. Okay, they are God's gift to the earth. I have this little chart here that I keep in my folder, and it tells you what to do about chronic or acute conditions. So it lists acid reflux, allergies, Alzheimer's, measles. No, that's not measles. That's Melissa. I don't read very good in the dark. I don't read very good anyway. My eyes just don't love me. I love them, though. But anyway, it makes a list of all of these things. So what if you put a question in and say, oh, what would I use for blood pressure? Well, if you want to lower it, you would use rosemary, and you would combine that with 1 to 2 drops in a capsule up to 3 times a day. Or you could diffuse it, or you could just smell it. Burns or blisters, lavender. Apply 1 to 2 drops to the skin where the burn is. Okay, cholesterol. My sister's having a problem with cholesterol. So what she would do, she would use lemongrass and combine 1 to 2 drops in a capsule, clarity sage and helichrysum, 1 to 2 drops, in a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil. And she would apply that over her liver. I mean, that's where the cholesterol is made, so that's where you would apply it. What if you had a cold? Then you would use the On Guard. If you were using Young Living, which is the only one that I ever talk about as far as good quality oils, and I think the bottles are prettier in doTERRA. I don't know, but I like doTERRA very well. So doTERRA is On Guard. With Young Living, I think it's called Thieves. And I have the On Guard. I have the soap. It has the little pump that makes the foam. That's in one bathroom. In my bathroom, I just have it in a thing, and I wash my face with it. And what I find with the On Guard, my glasses irritate my nose, so I find that the On Guard is really helping clear up my face. So that is really good. And then I have my On Guard concentrate that I clean my floors or cabinets with. And then also have my On Guard laundry soap. I don't use it on everything, but I use it when I need that extra protection from pathogens and things like that. I love my On Guard. And it's good for colds too. It kills mold. So if you had a cold, you would use the protective blend, oregano, rosemary, thyme, melaleuca. Melaleuca is tea tree oil. And you would do 1 to 2 drops in a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, and then you would apply it to your sinuses. So anyway, we got all this list here of how to use the oils, and I would love to share that with you if you'd like to ask. Then I have another visual. I was putting the plastic on my visual on my foot, and then I walked off and left the iron on it. That's okay. I'm getting up there, but I don't have dementia and I don't have Alzheimer's. I have ADA, or whatever you call it. I get distracted and I go off and do something else. I'll be in the middle of something and then something else has to be done. I've been that way all my life, so I know that's not dementia. That's haphazard brain. Dingling. Okay. Anyway, in the ear, you have the acupuncture spots. So, and they're all numbered off. So if you had high blood pressure, you could put your oil. I'm sorry. I was showing you, but I was showing you over there. See, I told you I'm dinging. Okay. We have high blood pressure. So it's right here. So you could put your high blood pressure oil here, or you could just massage it. You don't have to put any oil at all. So that's good for high blood pressure. And let's see. Low back pain. You got low back pain? You're going to go up here. And let's see, I'll pick another one. This one is sciatica. Anyway, tonsillitis, you're going to come back down here again. And your thyroid gland is up here. And you just rub them. That's your acupuncture. And I use the oil sometimes in these spots. You never, 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 never put oil inside your ear. You know, like when I have an earache, and I always tell everybody, if you have an earache, get your basil. Put your basil right here. Put it right here. You don't have to put it in your ear because that basil is going to go exactly to where it's needed. You don't even want to put it here on, you know, on this little thing. You just want to keep it on the outside of your ear, you know. And the nice thing about it, you can use it as much as you need, but it really acts pretty fast. Sometimes when you're using the oils for a specific reason, they're definitely not like over-the-counter drugs where you get an instant reaction and you get instant side effects. If you're consistent with using your oils 3 times a day, or if that's what you were told to do, then they're going to work very well. But they have to get in and go. They go where they want to go. So, you know, you hope when you're working on your cholesterol and you're putting it on your liver, it goes and you say, oh, I need to go to heart and fix that. But they do their job. They're just not as fast as pharmaceuticals, and they're not dangerous. God made them, and that's what makes them good. Now, I have another visual here, and this is the hands. We have acupunctures on our hands. So, We got the lungs right here, the heart, the lungs. For the heart, you would use rose. Oh, I'm not showing you again. I'm looking, but you're not looking. So we got our heart right here. It's kind of like on our heart line. So then your thyroid is right here on your thumb. You can pull these off the internet, I think, if you really wanted to do it. And the ear, if you got a problem with your ear, you're going to do your acupuncture right here. You'll put your basil oil right here, and then this is the place you would go for that. Let's see. I wanted to look. Okay. Eyes. It's right here. Right here and right here is your eyes. I forgot about that. I'm going to have to add that to my protocol. I got these little bumps in my hand. They're little fat things that you develop as you get older. I try to use friction on them, and they just, well, this one seems better. But I need to do my rubbing on my fingers for my eyes. And if I were going to put an oil on that place, I would put helichrysum, clarity sage, immortelle. Immortelle is supposed to be good for aging. I ordered some this month because I'm out. And frankincense, I put frankincense here. And I have this little roller thing. I have to remember to show it to you because it's really cool. It's like a pin, and you push down on, and the lavender comes out on this little ball, and then you just push it here. I don't know about you, but when I'm looking in the video, since I started doing, I never can say it. I say it wrong every time. COPITBA. I call it capella because I got a cop in there, but that's not how you say it. But I combined it with the frankincense, and I put it on my eyes every morning, and I still got the puffiness, but I think the puffiness is going away. I used to use Preparation H, but Preparation H, if you want that to work, you got to go to Canada where they sell the good stuff. So I don't use the Clarity Sage at all, but I do use the helichrysum. Helichrysum is a little bottle, and the retail price on it is like $100, so you use that very wisely. The immortelle is in a roller bottle, and it's pricey too. So, if you think you want to use these, you might want to join our little club. It's like Costco's. You get a membership, and then you get a 25% discount. And if you do the loyalty rewards, then every time you buy something, they give you points. And it depends on how long you've been and how many points you get. But either way, points add up. So when I do not pay for helichrysum. I do not pay for immortelle. I do not pay for frankincense. Because frankincense retail, wholesale is $65. Retail is $95. Immortelle is about the same. And the retail on the helichrysum, like I said, is $100. So if you have points, spend your points there. Then it only costs you $3 to use your points when they ship it. So that's good. Helichrysum's up here for nerves, along with lemongrass, cloves, gardenia, peppermint. I love peppermint. I paid my membership this month, and I'm getting a free bottle of peppermint. Get that hair out of my face. I changed places and that fan is still getting me. But on the peppermint, my membership cost me, my annual fee was $25. So they gave me the peppermint, and I think the peppermint cost $27. So that's pretty good. Anyway, I have talked for a long time, and remember to share, remember to like, and to remember to dream your dreams and live your life to the fullest. Good night.